Hello everybody and welcome back to Middle-earth, and we are at episode 6 or 7 in the 4th Age Dwarves campaign. It has been a while. We are seeing how this works. I've had some stability issues since I made the switch to Windows 10. But I have been able to play for a little while, a couple of turns. Nothing much has happened. We've taken Last Bridge. We have built the pacification building, so now I'm going to queue up my Outland Dominion. We've still got some cash left over. I can see up here that a Dunabar looks pretty strong with some trolls even here. So this force is not going to be able to deal with it just yet. I would love to get some of my blunderbusses up north, because that's where I think they're going to be most useful against a Dunabar. You know what? Let's just take them all. We'll just march through. Well, okay, let's see if we can pay for military access, because I don't mind doing that. Can we not? Or no, we have to be allied. We can't ally with them. Okay, why can we not ally with them? Probably because they're allied with a Dunabar who's at war with me. So it would not be a good idea to march through. But you know what? Let's do it. Let's just do it. I'm just so sick of having these guys and not being able to use them. So we'll see what happens if Dunland feels like contesting this, because I may be able to get them up around Swanfleet and through there. We can pay for military access with Tharbad if it comes to it. But at any rate, what else do I need to build? Not too much. So I'm keeping this guy out on the bridge because I don't want him to be the governor. He's not very good at it. He is dutiful, which would overcome some of those penalties, but not looking too great. Elsewhere, Tharbad is looking very threatening, at least in terms of numbers of stacks. They had like 3 full stacks around here. Yeah, here's the other 2. So these guys could be a problem. Fortunately, we're allied with them, trading with them currently. Other buildings are just going along fairly well. Got 7,000 to spend, and so I'm going to hold off. 7.3. We could just afford this way station. It's going to give me a little bit of trade. Actually, barely any. So let's not do that. I think part of the problem is this settlement borders and a Dunabar settlement, so we're just not trading with them. Over here, I do see a rune half stack or quarter stack. Just kind of hanging out. They're not making a move yet to get around here, but they may be thinking about it. And we do finally have some reinforcements for Nerig Zagil. They can't be retrained. That's fine. We've still got Andvari, although I'm worried he's going to pass away fairly soon. And Rune may move up here, but so far they're not on our property. All right. That's right, we're bringing some men over from Rivendell. No. Okay. So I've got a couple of archers here, and they certainly would be most useful right there. I always want to check for mercenaries. So I've already got one of these cav guys. I'm not going to buy any more just yet. Okay, Gundu Thorns. That's one thing I have been working on. This settlement here has no governor in it, and so because of that I've been avoiding building here, because we don't get the bonuses from having attuned governors or good governors. But I'm building it up now because I've got enough money to throw at it. Mithril Armory, we gotta wait until we get deep mithril mines in the Dwarves. So we are working on the Chief Province, 1 turn, which will allow us to get to that higher level of mines. And again, I think what I want to do here is just hold on for a bit longer, keep making money and building up my population. You see, the problem here is we're at 438. The 400 is the absolute bottom of population, and so we just don't have enough to train anything that's a substantial unit. So we're going to hold off there and try to get the most out of Andvari's good governing skills before he dies. And alright, this isn't enemy territory, we're neutral. We are, I believe, trade partners with Dunland, which is good because we are trading with the fort here, but I hope they understand we're just passing through to fight their ally, no big deal. Alright, and again, I've got so much money to spend. But things are just building everywhere, so I may as well keep progressing the turns. Okay. Okay, so Dunland had a spy in my fort. Hopefully, hopefully they're not going to be becoming hostile just yet. But I should actually work on some more blunderbusses now that we've got none in there. Okay, Dwarves is the main thing I want to focus on. Deep mithril mines. So, increase in tradable goods, and we don't get any land tax, but that's going to help us out. 64 to 70, man. So that's going to be over 1,200, around 1,200 or so bonus to money, which is very nice. All right, we want to make for Swanfleet, and we'll head up towards Rivendell, and then Last Bridge, and then we'll head up here. So my goal with this army is to head to the north to disrupt some of these Dunabar settlements, and ultimately get up here as well and swing east to take out some of these orc holds, in particular Gundabad Fortress, which is one that I need for my victory conditions. Meanwhile, in Rivendell, I don't think I mentioned this, we are developing those Eriador outlands because the population is just plummeting here because it's elven lands currently, as you can see. So if we build this, this will now effectively be settling men on the territory here and bring up the population growth. We'll at least be able to get hirelings out of there eventually, though it's not really that crucial. Okay, so at Loon we just built a waypost, which allows us to train some hireling spears. Quite a bit lower upkeep, larger unit size, so we can get some of these troops out of here, out of garrison duty. And I do want to build something here for sure. One thing we do have to start to worry about, though, once you expand beyond Dwarven lands, is your public order, because it's not nearly as good in the Manish territories. So Dwarven craft, that's not going to help with that. Exchange houses are going to give me 40 or so gold, but we're going to lose some of that to corruption. Land tax is nice. Population growth is nice. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. Oh, did we actually overspend? Yeah, we did. Oh, wow. Those deep mines. How much do they cost? 30 grand. Yeah, well, we got to do it. We're going to do it. Okay, I think that's all we want to do this turn. So you get nervous when you see the AI engaging in diplomacy with you without actually opening up the diplomacy menu, because it may indicate that they're trying to bribe you or that an attack is imminent. So I want to demand military access, but I will give you, this is maybe unwise, let's just throw 7 grand at them. No. Alright, so there is a sort of a better way to do that, which I think actually we did. We may have... No, we didn't give them military access yet, so maybe I'll try that next turn. But honestly, I'm not not super enthused about filling up their coffers with my gold. I'll just take the slow route. So we made it through Dunland, though. They didn't want to fight us. Very good. Alright, what else do we want to build in? Loon. Now that we're making money again, let's go with that tillage. And get Gilgalthal. Again. Okay, Hollowbold. Hollowbold as a governor. For a while. He's got a son, actually, who is an expert governor, just waiting in the wings for his dad to pop off. So let's, but while we've got this guy, let's build something decent. Probably King's Coffers or a way station. 16. It's not going to give you a really substantial bonus, but it is a little something, so it may as well. Delph is all set. Erebor, again, we're just kind of waiting there. Okay, Metalsmith Workshops, may as well here. We're already getting great bonuses to our construction cost or construction times. Oh, okay, this is very good. Look at how cheap this stuff is here because of this Master Dwarven Stone Riot, and he's an inspired governor. It's going to be very sad when he goes away. Okay, so King's Coffers would allow training of a scout. No, I can already do that. Would give me, you know, a bit of extra trade. This Mithril Armory is what's going to get me the Wayne Bow, though, so I think I want to go with that. Two units I really want to see in action here. The blunderbusses are 1, and the Wayne Bow is number 2. Alright, so we can actually sort of tick around here. Doesn't look like Tharbad's going to give us any trouble, so we'll get those blunderbusses up north, and we'll be able to see how they fare. I'm actually very curious. I have not used these guys in campaign very much. I have you know, done this type of thing before, where you get Dol Baran and you build up some blunderbusses, but I haven't really used them against a big faction. I've used them in siege defenses of that particular fort, but nowhere else. So this should be very exciting indeed. So we got kind of a Cold War going on here, which is fine. Dorwinian's holding its own very well. I just want to check the diplomacy there. They're not at war with Ruin, which is wonderful. Now, again, another thing I should be doing here is taking Yodor and sort of taking some of this land for myself, because you can get some really good units, some hirelings from this part of the world, from the Northmen, you know, Dale-type territory. So that is on my radar, but I don't have them in quite yet. Alright, so a lot of cruising around the map, but I guess that's what we're going to do since I don't have a governor here, but I can't do anything else. Let's go ahead for stone-paved roads. That's going to increase speed of movement here, which is going to help me get troops around. I do have some guys sitting in Loon who could be combined with some other troops in, I guess it's Gilgalthal, to start assisting my push against Anudbar in the north. It would be good to do that. Okay, a suitable husband. So this is, you know, this is really good to see as the dwarves, because you don't get many of these guys, but he's not good. Inept governor, incompetent commander. He's unintelligent also. I mean, he's a Longbeard of the House of Narvi. That's cool, but I'm going to say no. Alright, finally Last Bridge has Outland Dominion built, which is one of the things I was waiting for, because, again, public order becomes important the further out you expand, so you don't want to expand too quickly. And take a lot of Manish territory. Okay, it's time to restore the trader now. So I think part of the reason I was waiting is you can retrain these early, but it doesn't necessarily do you a lot of good because it costs you a lot more until you have built your provincial pacification and everything. All right. Everything looking good. Things are quiet in the Dwarven Kingdom, at least for now. All right, let's go for mustering halls. That's going to get me up to warhammers, axe throwers, and ballistas, which will be good. And you know, again, we've got the money to spend currently. Still got 10,000 to go. All right, let's see what that public order looks like if we were to take out all of these troops. Okay, so not great. We'll train another unit of these hireling spears. Put these guys back in for now. But what I will do is get them retrained in Gabilgathal. Unfortunately, we do not have any governors there, so we can't get any family members over there. So I'm going to have to send them to the fight without a captain or without a general. Not ideal. Okay, Ledis, you're doing a bit better. This guy's poor, still unintelligent. I'm going to say no. Dwarf women are a precious resource. All right, and Vari got a mithril hauberk. Good for him. So I think that's because, yes, we have built what we need for the Dwarven Wain bow. So this is a fun unit. We can afford it, so I'll go ahead and train one. Now we've got a pretty substantial potential field army. We can go start wrecking here. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to hold off. We want the population to be high enough so we can train some more ground troops. Then we'll get a Wain bow or two. I don't want them to sit around, you know, just costing money. But it looks like Dunland may be getting tired of me just existing on their border. We'll see if they're going to do anything about it. Alright, carpenters. Let's go with that. Now, see, the problem now that we're in Manish territory is we have land tax to deal with. So a lot of these buildings have a land tax revenue modifier, which means you're going to lose money if you build them. It's kind of to simulate upkeep. So for the dwarves, though, you never have to deal with that. All your military buildings, all your construction buildings, industry, those types of things don't really cost you any upkeep. So now we're going to have to deal with that. Well, let's go ahead and work on other things while we can. Yeah, let's do King's Coffers for that upgraded spy. It's going to give him a bit of experience to start. Oh, I forgot to move my gunpowder units. Alright, here we are. Shoot. They wisely waited until my blunderbusses were headed north. Okay. Well, interesting developments. We'll see if they are able to take it, which they almost certainly are, because I've got a single unit of blunderbusses here. I'm just going to go ahead and take this guy out of the queue. Okay. So we're probably going to lose this in a couple of turns. All right. But we can take it back. The other thing that's kind of good is that we don't really border Dunland, although I guess we do here. Shoot. So they may not really care to have peace with us after the war wraps up. That would be unfortunate. So we may be in for a long war with Dunland. Well, anyway, that's not necessarily a bad thing. What I would do is make these mountain settlements a priority. These are the big settlements for Dunland anyway. Take Dunhold, that's a chief city. Take this. This is nice and big with timber and livestock. And then take this back. And then we've got a nice corner of the realm, as long as Rohan doesn't move in here. And if they do, I'll just buy this off them again. And then I'll bring a force down south. So should I do that with these guys? Is the question. Should I send them back down here to fight Dunland? Well, okay, I'm going to say no. The blunderbusses should fight a Dunabar. Dunland has a lot of skirmisher types, and these guys have very short range, 80 yards. And so Dunland has a ton of missiles, and I'm worried about them getting chewed up with all of the missiles that Dunland tends to field. A lot of these guys are going to have a missile attack. All of these units you see have missile attack. So blunderbusses are not going to necessarily do well if they have to stand off and just endure showers of javelins. So that could be bad. So what I'm going to do is I think hold on to this force, and we will send these guys. All right, that's looking good. We'll send them back here to get retrained. We'll train up some other troops. We got all kinds of population here now. And now is where we got to spend some of that money on units, so we can take the fight to a Dunabar and free up troops to head back down south to reclaim the southern reaches of the Misty Mountains. So we're looking at a fairly quiet eastern front, and the western front has just opened up. I think we're going to call it there, folks, for an episode. Very glad to get back into this campaign. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll check you out on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.